G'day guys, Luke from Hitch. We're going to come to you with a bit of a more common option that we're seeing these days, and that's fitting an air conditioner to the canning. As you know, the OTT, great system, works really well. But in the canning, we've seen a few more people move to the aircon, particularly up north in those few more warmer regions. They are a reverse cycle, so you can use them for cooling and heating, which is great. Not that you need it too much with the panels that we use, that composite fiberglass, but it's just that little bit extra, take the heat out of it. So what we wanted to show you is lots of people ask us, can I run the aircon off the canning? Do I need it in a generator and all that sort of jazz? And the answer is no. So what we've set up here in this camper has our tech pack, which includes a RedArc 2000 watt inverter, and also this one's got 200 watt solar and has a 200 amp lithium. And that's what we're going to use to run the aircon. So it's a Webasto cool top, great unit, and it's perfect for the size of the cannings. So what you do with your remote, you got to make sure your inverter's on for it, because it is a 240 volt system. You turn the system on, and now what to do, it's going to start to cool down. That is when you have the most draw, is when it's doing that cool down period. Now I've got the air conditioner fired up. We've got it set on 24 with the fan and automatic, which is just a really pleasant temperature to sleep at night time. And with the fan and auto, it's going to adjust it as it needs to. This is a proper air conditioning system, so just like at home, it's going to manage that temperature. One thing that we found is when it starts up, it's going to be pulling around 50 to 60 amps, which this battery system, this inverter, more than adequate in handling that system. In our testing in real world, middle of the day, when it's really, really hot, sun's bearing down on the camper, what we've found is of this 200 amp hour lithium, you're going to use around 10% per hour in that cycle, which is not an over excess for this battery, but it's still going to mean that put it on for a couple of hours, take the heat out of it, and then you're still going to have enough juice with just the one battery to do your cooking and stuff like this one if you've got the induction cooktop. So remembering, we can add a second 200 amp hour lithium, so you've got 400 amps, which is going to give you a mass amount of power to run the aircon, run the induction cooktop, and all the other bits and pieces, fridges and all that sort of stuff as well, and mean you've got no issues with worrying about battery capacity. So now we're inside the canning. We just want to give you a run through how it all goes together. You can still have your Sirocco fans and things if you want to have just a bit of air movement but don't want the full aircon. With the aircon here, you've still got your interior light here. You can adjust all these grills so you can actually control where the air goes. Because I know for a lot of people, you don't want the air blowing on you, but you want that air conditioned feel. Still a great space in here. In this one, we've got our pull-out shelf. We've got 240 under here, heaps of storage. And you can also see we've got your dust suppression system, which comes in through the kitchen. So you're still nice and sealed in here with the air conditioner. All your cupboards and stuff still open, all clear the aircon, which is really important. So it's actually still a usable feature that's in the canning. One of the benefits of the TVMS system is that you can see everything that's happening with your manager on your phone. And that's really handy. So if you're inside, you can see what it's doing. If you're down by the campfire or something like that, you can actually see what your manager's doing. But one of the big advantages of the TVMS is the digital switching. So if you are inside asleep and you wake up and go, you know what, I want the aircon on, you can pull out your smartphone, go to your controls, turn on your inverter, and then you can run that aircon. What you can also see from the app, we're at 91% at the moment. You can see what our water tanks are doing, but you can come down here and you can see what the actual battery is doing, what power is coming out, where's it going. At the moment, you can see we're pulling out 70 amps of the battery. We've got 1.3 odd coming in from solar, and now that's going to the appliance of, at the moment, 71 to 74 amps. Whilst that's a big number, it's only for a brief period of time. It's not for an extended period of time. So it's very similar to levels to the single induction or something like that. It's about half of what we're seeing with coffee machines, but it's not for an extended period of time. And that's why the system's so efficient. And as I said earlier, we're only using around 10% of our battery capacity with the standard 200 amp lithium battery that this has. But if you went to something like the 400 amp, you're going to really double that capacity for those off-grid applications. And that's where with the lithium, the tech pack, inverter, it all works well as a good package to run the aircon completely off-grid without any generators or plug-in to mains power, so you can explore those more remote places. When the aircon cycles off, it'll come down to around 6 to 8 amps, and that's where it's just in that maintenance mode. Fans on, inverters on, it has to use something, and it'll stay there. But it's about that average over the cycle, and that's what's really handy. You can see all this information on the TVMS and switch it on, which is why I would personally go the TVMS if I was going the aircon option. Guys, that's a really good run through on the aircon on this particular camper. Becoming increasingly popular, but the big thing is, and the question we get asked, can you run your aircon off grid? And with the canning, yes you can, and that's really important.